Hi, welcome to JW Fit Life. I'm Jason, and today, what I was thinking about a moment when I was I was playing middle school football, and we were in practice, and I remember um, one of the coaches and one of the players were having a conversation, and my teammate goes, "Hey, coach, you hear they put me in the paper?" He's like, "Oh yeah, what did they say?" He says, they said I have potential to be a great athlete. And coach goes, well, you know what potential means, right? He goes, what? He says, it means that you ain't did S yet, right? So I'm gonna watch my language here, but uh, but that stuck with me for the rest of my life, right? Potential in his definition meant that he ain't did. Potential in his definition meant that he hasn't done anything yet, right? So yeah, someone saw that he had some talent, right, but hadn't done anything with the talent. So they were saying that he had the potential to be a great high school player or college athlete, right? And as I grew into uh, my sports and fitness education, I started to realize how true that was, where our potential. So I had a saying when I was a fitness coach or personal trainer, and I would say, your age only means anything to me on your first day. And that's the time where we sit down, we talk about your goals, we establish a base point, and from that base point, we move forward. So, as a if you were an older person, right, we would establish a base point based on where you were right now physically versus where the normal population or the average population of people your age are, right? And we establish that base point, right? And we use those metrics together. So from that point, we worked off of your potential, right? There's that word again. Um, so what a lot of people don't realize is that everybody says that as you get older, you get weaker. As you get older, you degrade, right? As you get older, you can't do this, you can't do that. False, right? So what we don't realize is that what is actually decreasing as we get older is our potential. And our potential is something that we haven't reached yet. All right, our potential. So we have everybody has a certain potential to be lift this much weight, right? There's a limit there, right? So let's take the bench press, right? Because I love the bench press. Um, so let's say um, my potential to bench press is 700 pounds, right? I don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know your potential, right? Um, and of course, to reach that potential, there's a certain amount of work that goes into it, right? So the potential is there. Whether I reach that limit, right? Whether I reach that ceiling or not is up to me and how much work I'm willing to put into it. So you can use that analogy in anything that you do, right? You have potential to be great at anything, right? You just don't know where it is. So we'll sit back and we'll say, I can't do this, I can't do that. But that potential to be great at whatever it is you're doubting yourself at is there. You just have to be willing to put the work in. All right. No matter how old you are, you could be 60 years old. All right. And you're sitting there saying, well, I can't bench press 700 pounds. Maybe not, because, as you get older, that potential comes down, right? But most of the time we never truly reach our potential, right? So let's go back to that bench press. As strong as I am, when I was a couple years ago, actually, I was 450 pounds. I can lift 450 pounds on the bench press, right? But who's to say that I couldn't have done more if I was to put more effort into it, right? If I was to put more time into it, right? So now, as I'm a little older, if my potential was 700 pounds, it's probably a little less now. Who knows? Maybe 500 pounds. 600 pounds, somewhere in there, maybe. I don't know. But I've never reached it. So if my potential is 600 pounds now, and I've only hit 450, then I still have room to grow. Right? As I get a little older, that potential comes down to maybe, remember, I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'll say that potential comes down to maybe 500 pounds, at 50 years old, 60 years old. All right. But I never reached it, right? I've only reached 450. So there's still a little room to grow. So for me to sit there and say, well, I can't do this because I'm 60 years old, false. You don't know that. You haven't put the work in to determine that, right? So if you want to start a business, or you want to learn a new skill, right? You want to learn bookkeeping, you want to learn something in science, or something, and you want to be a writer, or whatever it is that you think that you would like to do, you can still learn it. You still have the potential to learn it, right? You still have the potential to do it, right? We have to remember, mind, body, and soul. Keep working on yourself physically. Keep improving your mind, and believe in something, right? Keep your belief strong. So that potential may decrease as you get older, right? But you can still grow. You can still get better. So I like to use the concept of looking at like our Olympic and professional athletes, right? Olympic and professional athletes, those guys are fast. They're so strong, right? So they move at speeds that you couldn't even imagine, right? They lift, they're as strong as trucks, right? But even those guys and ladies, they rarely reach their potential. With all the training that they do, all the sweat and hard work that they do, they rarely reach their full potential, right? And that's because to reach our potential, it takes those three things, mind, body, and soul, right? So you have to believe that you can do it. You have to put the work ethic in, right? And you have to understand what you're doing, right? So they'll say, all of these records, all these Olympic records and Guinness Book of World Records in athletics and whatnot, all these things are impossible to beat until somebody believes that they can beat it. And then it will be beat over and over again. Every time, right? We have to understand that we can do it. Once we understand we can do it, it's done, right? So continue to set those goals, right? And do not let your age or your current state or physical abilities or wherever you're at currently, do not let that take away from what you want to do with your life. Right? Set those high goals. You still have room to grow. We all do. Thanks a lot. Again, I'm Jason. Remember to comment below or send me something at jnwfitlife@gmail.com and let me know where I can go next. Thanks a lot.